We are coming up on an election season for those that buy into this democratic process. And the reason I say that is we're only given two choices, neither of which really benefit us. But if you choose, hey, Ms. Hall, if you choose to subscribe to it, then you ought to know what you're subscribing to and all that comes with it. Now, there have been more changes in laws and policies since the world saw George Floyd murdered on national TV. There have been more changes without one trip to the ballot box. Even a couple of weeks ago when the NBA went on their strike, there was something that came out of that. Some of the owners agreed to open up their arenas to allow voting. It was a one-day strike, and it did garner some results, which is a good thing. Now, if you are going to subscribe that voting is the answer or part of the answer, then what I would suggest is that you make sure that you wear your mask and your gloves and you get ready for a long day. We already see the efforts of the powers that be to deter people from absentee voting or to muddy the waters. One way to assure that your ballot is counted is to go to the ballot box. Don't be deterred. People are doing everything else. Let's mask up, protect ourselves, and get to the ballot and vote. Take someone with you. That's a good rule of thumb. Nothing that you do, you should do alone. As you go to vote, take your neighbors. There are older people that we all know that can't necessarily get around or don't have a ride. Make sure you take somebody else to the voting places with you, to the polling places with you. Never do anything alone. Never do anything alone. Take some other people that need rides or that you're not sure. Check with your neighbors, check with your family if they voted. During this pandemic, there are a lot of people at home, so you can get out a little bit earlier than you would if you had to go to work. Wear your mask, social distance, and prepare for a long day. Voting is a tool. It's a tool. It's not the answer. It's a tool. And whoever you vote for, you make sure that once you cast your vote that you realize you have more work to do. You have to hold their feet to the fire. You have to make sure that they're going to do what they have to do for you and your family and your belief system. Now, we as black people, we have to stop just throwing away our vote if we're going to buy into the system. And I say if, because I don't think that black people need to be assimilating into a system that is at best indifferent to our very existence. At best, indifferent. At worst, we see the genocide, the wanted killing by government agencies, which are the police, or government agents, which are the police, and they're never penalized, or rarely penalized. There's never justice when we are killed in the streets. So again, if you believe that this is a process that you want to participate in, if you believe that this is a tool that you would like to use, then use it wisely. Don't just give your vote away. Pay attention to what's being said. This is the same things that are being said by the present administration are being said by the opponent, the Democratic nominee. The lawlessness in the streets, the protesters that are lawless. Listen to the language. He's going to clean up the streets. Saying the same thing, but he's made nice with black folks, so we don't hear that. Be very careful. Pay attention. Pay attention. There have been many things changed in this country without one vote being cast. It is not our only weapon. It may not even be a weapon that will be successful. We have to start holding these elected officials to account. Whoever they are, Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. We only want to jump and shout when the Republicans are in office about things being bad. But more black people went to jail under Democratic presidents and Democratic governors than anyone. But they talk nice to us, so we don't pay any attention. It has to stop. We have to be more educated and pay attention to what's going on. We have to be more focused. Part of our problem is we have too many differences that we let get in the way of our politics. And our politics are very important because they dictate how we live and how we die. I've said it before and I'll say it again and I'll continue to say it. When they come for you, they don't check to see if you're a Jew, a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, straight, gay, Republican, Democrat. They don't care. So what we have to do is rally around one another in our blackness. Leave your religion at home, because anytime you talk religion, we're going to argue about who's right and who's wrong. And we're not being judged by our religion or our political alliances or our social standings or whether you're an atheist or whether, we're not being judged like that. We're simply being judged by the color of our skin. So Mr. Christian, Miss Muslim, Miss Jew, Mr. Atheist, you leave that at the door. You leave that at home. And we have to get together to get this monkey off of our back, to get justice and liberation for all of us. Because right now, we can't afford to argue about other things, because we're being killed at an equal rate no matter what you are, no matter what you subscribe to, or if you subscribe to anything. You have to leave your religion and your political beliefs at home. We're fighting for the liberation of black people, for the equality of black people. Again, on this show, on this platform, we say black nationalism, black power. There can be no nationalism when you assimilate into another society, because you have to give up what you believe in. Well, only if you're black, because Confederates fly their flag and they have monuments. Right here in Alabama, there's a Confederate holiday in 2020. There's a Confederate holiday, and all the state offices are closed in 2020 in Alabama. And I say all this to say that we cannot continue to give up our identity. There are no equal protections under the law. There is no separate but equal under the law. It's not enforced. If it were, there would be no need for myself or anyone else to be out here fighting for these very things. There'd be no need for you to tune in every Saturday and try to help strategize freeing our people. America had a chance to have a bloodless revolution, to have this country be great existence. And that would have been to pay us our reparations, give us our land, and let us go for our own. But unfortunately, for them and us, this is where we are today. Rioting in the streets, like the colonists. Looting, burning, and pillaging, just like the colonists that built this country. Fighting for their freedom. Fighting for the things that were denied to them. Things that they couldn't afford. Things that the aristocrats would not let the colonists partake of. So the colonists took them. They burned their businesses. They damaged their property. They fought. They fought and gave their lives. Give me liberty or give me death. But a black man says that, and we're unpatriotic. How do I know all these things? These are the things that we were taught in school. We were taught American history. History of murderers and thieves and thugs and rapists. Murdered the indigenous people of this country. Took their land. Gave a semblance of reparations. And gave some Native Americans some reservations and some tax breaks. Wow. On their own land. The indigenous people of this country, of this continent, were wiped out, for the most part, by people that wanted what they had. Fast forward to 2020, or not even 2020, fast forward to the 60s. How dare black people want the right to vote? How dare black people want the same rights as citizens after what they call the Great Emancipation? No more chattel slavery. You tell us we are free and can enjoy all the liberties that this country has to offer. Boulder Dash and Poppycock. Only thing we got was Jim Crow, a replacement. Then after Jim Crow, we got the prison industrial complex. Forced slave labor. That's what we got. But we're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to assimilate. We're supposed to be proud Americans while we continue to get shot down in the streets. While our killers go free. But we're supposed to be what? Again, think about what we're doing. We have to work together. We have to. We have to. Even to participate in the political process, we have to have a singular voice. We have to work together. We have to check our personal stuff at the door. Check your religion at the door. Check your civil beliefs at the door. Because the only thing we're going to do if we bring them with us is argue over who's right and who's wrong. I can respect yours just like you can respect mine, but we have work to do. And we don't need any more distractions than we already have. We have to stay focused. We have to. All the background noise, we have to drown it out because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They keep you distracted while they change the laws. They keep us distracted while they cut funding. They keep us distracted while people are being killed in the streets. They keep us distracted while the protests still are raging across this country. They don't show it in the media, but they're still going on. They don't show the strikes, but they are still going on. And we're not paying attention. The system wasn't set up for us. Tear it the hell down and start all over, or we're going to be doomed. You can't fix something that is not broken. The system is not broken. The system was never written for us. It was never written for us. They add an amendment here, add an amendment there. They don't mean anything. Because we're still getting shot in the streets. We're still being experimented on. We're still being neglected. We're still being over-policed and maligned. There is no equal protection for us under the law. If there was, the killers of Breonna Taylor would be in jail for life.